I want to give you a little bit of an insight to how to set up your discussion post for the Sherlock Holmes critical thinking activities that we're going to be doing in weeks 3 through 9. What I recommend that you do before you watch this video in its entirety is to actually open up the PDF that is attached to the discussion board. It will help to make this video make more sense and to be easier to understand. So maybe pause this video, go open up that PDF, take a look through it so that what I'm talking about isn't like, what? So you can actually understand where I'm coming from and why I'm saying what I'm saying. So when you look at that PDF, the first thing you kind of see is you see a little gray box at the top. It'll look something like this. And when you first see it, usually they say this story is, and it will say it's a chemical mystery. So that's kind of, all of them are like that. They're all Sherlock Holmes, so hopefully that will kind of keep your interest, pique you a little bit more. And this one says it was an emphasis on qualitative analysis, descriptive chemistry, and forensics. So it kind of gives you an idea of what the concepts are, but it's not point on. So when you set up your discussions, and this is everyone in the class is required to do this, these are the order and the headings that you have to use in your discussions. And I will have a pinned post that will have this same information in case you forget, or as we get through, you kind of get tired of doing the same thing. And I understand that. And I will remind you if you forget to give the headings. The main reason that I ask you to do the headings is so that as you respond to your classmates, it's easier to say, like, I noticed in your concepts, blah, 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 blah. Or I had a question when you did your initial thoughts, blah, 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 blah. Or in your discussion, blah, blah, blah. And so it's easier then for the person that you're writing to, they can just go right back to their discussion and say, oh yes, in my discussion I meant, or I was trying to elaborate, whatever. Or in my answers. And so it makes it easier for everybody to follow a conversation. Now remember, as big as our class is, you're not reading all of the posts, you're just reading the ones that you are responding to. And I strongly suggest that you don't try to respond to everyone and don't try to read all of the posts. So the main thing for paragraph format is your discussion. Everything else can be in bullet points or dashes, however you want to do it. And the answers to your question, you just number them based on the numbers that you see at the bottom of your PDF that you've just read. So this is basically just a breakdown. You need to have the concepts that you've learned in class or from your readings or the homework. And so you just give me the concepts that are directly related to the case that you're currently solving. Then give me like your initial thoughts and gathered information. So here, this is usually as you're reading through the case. What are your initial thoughts as you read through? Is there anything that sticks out that might be important to you? Anything that's additional or relevant to the case. Now sometimes here, this is where students will go on the internet and they look things up. If you go to the internet, please make sure that you cite that website, even if it's just copying and pasting the website down. I like to check where you go on the internet to make sure it's a valid site. Sometimes students will pick a site and it actually has absolutely nothing to do, or it's a site that it's not really current or accurate information. And I just like to share that with you if it's not a good site that you should be at. Then you do your discussion, and then finally the answers. So basically everything that you've shared with us in these first 4 is going to lead to the answers. Now, some of you I spoke to on the phone before the class started. I'm not looking for correctness on these. I'd be great if you get all the answers right. That's awesome, but that's not the point of these discussions. The point of these is to get your critical thinking skills working so that you will succeed better in your programs that you're going into, whether that is the chiropractic program or the nutrition program. I know the video is long, but hopefully this has really helped. If it hasn't, do make sure that you ask questions. I'm happy to answer any that you have, and I look forward to reading all of your cases and how you come out with your answers and what you have to say and how you got there.